Hello and welcome to Jake's Chemistry Exploration Videos, the show where you get to learn about the interesting aspects of chemistry. My name is Jake and I will be your host. Today, we're going to take a look at the ability to predict protein folding and the role of the DeepMind AI company. Let's jump right in. We are going to start with the basics of protein folding. So, what is a protein? Well, proteins are typically referred to as the workhorses of the cell. Each one expertly performs a specific task. For example, some are structural, providing stiffness and rigidity to muscle cells, while others act as catalysts in reactions that allow cells to divide and grow. There are over 100,000 unique types of proteins within a human cell. These proteins are made up of hundreds or thousands of amino acids. Moving on to protein folding, in the cell, a protein starts off as a long chain of amino acids. The way that this chain folds allows the protein to perform its specific function within the cell. There are 22 different types of amino acids, and the order that they are in on the protein chain determines how it will fold onto itself. When folding, two types of structures are typically the first to form. Certain parts of the chain will coil up into shapes called alpha helices, which look similar to a slinky, while other sections will fold into zigzag patterns called beta sheets, which resemble a paper fan. These two structures can interact to form more complex shapes. The protein folding problem. This is the question of how we can predict the three-dimensional shape that a protein will fold into solely based on its amino acid sequence. This question has stood as a major challenge in biology and chemistry without a clear solution in sight for the past 50 years until recently. Before getting into the contributions of DeepMind AI, let's start from the beginning. In his acceptance speech for the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, Christian Anfinsen, a well-known American biochemist, stated that, in theory, a protein's one-dimensional amino acid sequence could be used to determine its structure. Due to this, predicting protein folding has been a focus of scientific research for many years, and a variety of experimental techniques have been created and used. This includes nuclear magnetic resonance, when a magnetic field causes nuclei to produce an electromagnetic signal that can be used to determine aspects of the protein's shape, X-ray crystallography, when X-rays fired at a crystallized protein interfere with each other and create a diffraction pattern that can be used to locate the protein's atoms, as well as chiroelectron microscopy, when a beam of electrons fired at a frozen protein are passed through a magnifying lens to create an image of the shape. So, what's wrong with utilizing these methods? Well, although they are effective, they depend on extensive physical trial and error, which can take many years of painstaking and laborious work just to determine a single protein structure. Additionally, these methods require the use of multi-million-dollar specialized equipment. And finally, the main reason why these methods are not feasible is because the number of ways that a protein could theoretically fold before becoming its final 3D structure are astronomical. As an attempt to encourage and speed up research in the field of protein folding, CASP was founded. CASP stands for Critical Assessment of Protein Structure Prediction. To put it simply, it is a biannual assessment or challenge that monitors progress and determines how accurately protein structures can be predicted by scientists all over the world using the latest technology. Here's where DeepMind AI comes into play. In 2010, DeepMind AI, a British artificial intelligence company, was founded by scientists Demis Hassabis and Shane Legg after they met while studying the brain at University College London. 4 years later, in 2014, Google saw the potential in the technology that DeepMind AI was creating and acquired the company for over $500 million. Due to this, the company gained many new employees and grew substantially. After another 4 years passed, in 2018, DeepMind showed off their protein folding prediction AI named AlphaFold at CASP 13. They demonstrated that it could frequently predict the correct shape of proteins, yet not the exact location of the atoms. After the competition, in 2019, the DeepMind AI team worked with determination to better their AI before the next CASP, as they feared that other groups' technologies would catch up. Despite the pandemic causing many struggles, in 2020, DeepMind AI showcased the AlphaFold 2 AI at CASP 14. It performed extraordinarily well, making predictions that, on average, were more accurate than ever before. Currently, DeepMind AI continues to improve the accuracy of AlphaFold, as well as do work and conduct experiments in other areas, such as predicting gene expansion. Earlier this year, a huge dataset containing the predicted shape of every single protein in the body was released. If you're interested in viewing the 3D models and other intriguing information in the protein dataset, you can scan this QR code to view it. To fully understand how AlphaFold works, I will first explain the basics of AI. AI stands for Artificial Intelligence, which is the ability of a computer program to think and learn after being trained. This technology is becoming more and more widespread and present in our daily lives. A great and relatively simple example of this are Tesla's self-driving cars. They are already on the roads today in a testing phase and use AI to safely navigate the roads. How is an AI trained? First, the AI uses training data that it is given and makes decisions based on it. As mistakes are spotted, adjustments are made, either by a human or the AI itself, that help it become more accurate. Through this process of trial and error, the AI learns what the ideal outcome is and how to perfect its algorithms to achieve it. The system that allows for this learning is called a neural network. To be more specific, it is a series of algorithms that recognize the relationships and patterns in a set of data using a process that mimics the way the human brain functions. After a lot of training, a neural network has the potential to become better and faster at solving a certain problem when compared to humans. Back to the example of self-driving cars. The computer system would first be given a set of basic road rules. It would then make decisions of how to navigate in certain scenarios based on this information. At first, the decisions would be poor, but over time, with more trial and error, it would become proficient and make correct decisions. In the case of AlphaFold, the process is very similar. First, the AI receives an amino acid sequence that details the types of acids present and their specific order. Next, the trained neural network predicts the distances between the pairs of amino acids and the angles between chemical bonds that connect them. And finally, the AI uses the data that it calculated using the neural network and creates a 3D model of the folded protein. The AI's neural network was trained with the dataset containing the structure of all 170,000 proteins whose shapes had been discovered experimentally. It was then scored on how close the predictions were to the experimental data, allowing the AI to find relationships and patterns that could be utilized to find the structure of other proteins that had not been experimentally examined. This neural network runs on a powerful supercomputer that is about 100 to 200 times more powerful than a top-of-the-line consumer PC. Now, you're probably wondering, how accurate are AlphaFold's predictions? Well, if you look at this graph, during CASP 14, the latest version of AlphaFold predicted shapes with an estimated accuracy of over a whopping 85%. This is incredible. Here, you can see a couple examples of the known structure in green versus the predicted structure in blue. As you can see, they are quite similar. What makes DeepMind AI's technology so impressive is how far ahead of the competition it is. At CASP 14, their AI was over twice as accurate as the next best system. Besides the cool factor, what is the benefit of this newfound ability? Well, it allows for a substantially better understanding of what a particular protein does and how it works. Due to the fact that this is a brand new technology, no major breakthroughs or discoveries have yet been made because of it. Although, this will likely be the case in the future, since many current and important issues in the world are fundamentally connected to proteins. It is believed that this technology may allow for the discovery of enzymes that break down industrial waste, could majorly improve drug development, and possibly even be useful in future pandemic response efforts. For example, DeepMind AI was able to predict a portion of the protein structures of the COVID-19 virus, allowing us to better understand how it worked. Next, I'm going to play a very short clip that will showcase how a few members of the team at DeepMind hope their AlphaFold technology will impact the future.
If we do achieve this, this has incredible medical relevance.
The implications are immense, from how diseases progress, how you can discover new drugs. It's endless.
AlphaFold represents a huge leap forward that I hope will really accelerate drug discovery and help us to better understand disease. It's pretty mind-blowing.
You know, these results were, for me, having worked on this problem so long, after many, many stops and starts, and will this ever get there? Suddenly, this is a solution.
We'd solved the problem. This gives you such excitement about the way science works, about how you can never see exactly or even approximately what's going to happen next. There are always these surprises, and that really, as a scientist, is what keeps you going. What's going to be the next surprise?
In the end, DeepMind AI's creation of AlphaFold has seemingly solved the age-old protein folding problem. The AI uses many complex algorithms that it has developed through rapid trial and error, relationship recognition, and pattern detection to accomplish this incredible feat. The newfound ability to determine how proteins will fold has the potential to lead to other groundbreaking discoveries in various areas of chemistry and biology. Due to this, the technology has the potential to change our world greatly. So that's all for today's episode. Do you want to find out how much you took away from the lesson? Well, if you look below this video, you will be able to participate in a short quiz and matcha game. Check it out. Thanks for watching today's episode of Jake's Chemistry Exploration videos, and make sure to tune in tomorrow when we are going to be talking about the potential for life on Venus. Have a great day.